Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about a optimization procedure named genetic algorithm. I'll discuss a brief introduction of genetic algorithm. I'm Nadia is going to present this talk on genetic algorithm. Before going to the main talk, at first let's see the outline of this talk. The topic that I'm going to be discussed in this talk is introduction of genetic algorithm, then type of optimization problem that can be solved by this optimization procedure, then optimization procedure of genetic algorithm, then example of convergence of this algorithm, and conclusion of this algorithm. Now in next slide I'll show how genetic algorithm has been introduced or something like that. At first, genetic algorithm has been introduced in United States in 1970 by some person named John Holland, who is from University of Michigan. This algorithm is a search heuristic that mimics processes of natural selection. This heuristic then used to generate useful solution to optimize and search problem. This technique is inspired by natural evaluation like inheritance, mutation, selection, and crossover. This algorithm is less susceptible to stuck in local optimum than gradient search method, and computationally this algorithm is really expensive operator. In my next slide I'll go a little bit deeper about genetic algorithm. Genetic algorithm is a method for solving constrained and unconstrained optimization problem. Repeatedly modifying by the population of individual solution, this algorithm works. The basis of this algorithm is natural selection that drives biological evaluation. There are three main rules in genetic algorithm. The first one is random selection rule, which is actually selection of individual as parents to contribute population. The next one is crossover rule, which combine parents to form next generation. And then mutation rule apply random changes to individual parents. By following this rule, genetic algorithms solve optimization problem in a distinguished way. In my next slide, I'll show how it is distinguishable from classical optimization algorithm. In each iteration step, genetic algorithm generate a population where best point is optimum solution. In classical case, algorithm generates single point and sequence of point approaches to optimum solution. Then genetic algorithm selects next population by computation, which uses random number generator, where other algorithms select next point in sequence by deterministic computation. After knowing a little bit about genetic algorithm, now let's see in which field we can apply this algorithm to solve problems. Genetic algorithm can be applied to bioinformatics, then phylogenetic, then computational science, engineering, economics, chemistry, manufacturing, mathematics, physics, pharmacometrics, and so many other fields. As we know, every optimization algorithm has an objective function and some constraint. Now let's see which type of objective function and constraint can be applied in case of genetic algorithm. Genetic algorithm works well on mixed, continuous and discrete problems and combinatorial problems. The type of objective function that can be solved by genetic algorithms are standard type of objective function, then discontinuous, non-differentiable, stochastic, and highly nonlinear functions. And the type of constraint that can be used here is both linear and nonlinear. Thus, after knowing the type of objective function and constraint, we can categorize the problem that can be solved by genetic algorithm, and those are linear programming, non-linear programming, mixed integer nonlinear programming. Now we know a little bit about genetic algorithm and also know which class of problem we can deal with this algorithm. Now let's see how this algorithm works, or how this optimization procedure works. Before going to the procedure, I would like to introduce some terminology related to this algorithm. Some of the terminologies are: first one is fitness function, which is a function to be optimized, also known as objective function. Then comes individual, which is any random point where fitness function is applicable. It is also known as genome, and the vector entries of these individuals is known as gene. Then come the next terminology is population, which is the array of individual in this algorithm procedure. Then another terminology is generation. Each successive population procedure from current population by performing series of computation is generation. Then there is a term named diversity, which is average distance between individual in a population. The next terminology comes here is fitness value, which is the value of fitness function for an individual. The best fitness value here is the smallest fitness value for any individual in the population. Now let's come to the two main terminology, which are parents and children. Parents are the selected individual in current population to create individuals next generation, and the children are created individual from previous generation parents. After knowing the terminology, let's see how the algorithm works. It begins by creating a random initial population, then creating sequence of new population by calculation of fitness value of each member of the population, then scaling of raw fitness score, then selection of parent based on fitness value, then individual with lower fitness value like elite are passed to the next generation, producing children from parents by random crossover and mutation, and finally replacement of current population with children and elite. After creating the sequence and generation after generation, genetic algorithm needs to be stopped somewhere, and it stops by fulfilling some criteria. Now we know the direction but don't know the destination. By the word destination, I mean what are the stopping criteria of this algorithm. There are different stopping criteria of this algorithm. Some of those are this algorithm stops when the number of generation is equal to the value of generation. Then it also stops when the running time in second become equal to the time limit. Then fitness value in the current population become less or equal to the fitness limit. Again, if weighted average change in fitness value become less or equal to the fitness limit, then also this algorithm stops. Again, time in second for unchanged improvement, if almost equal to the stall time limit, then this algorithm may stop. And again, if constant violation is less or equal to the nonlinear constant tolerance, then also this algorithm can stop. In next slide, I will show an example of evaluation by genetic algorithm. These are some snakes taken as an individual population who may have criteria like muscle, beak, teeth, feather, leg, poison, and wings. Here 3 snakes have been taken who are different, who has different fitness value. Snake with the lowest fitness is cancelled out from the population at the very beginning of this algorithm. Then the remaining snakes are taken as parents and a crossover is done, which result another snake with 50% fitness. In this slide we are showing some crossover over here. Now the problem is we want a snake with 100% fitness. So what we can do is we can do some mutation. Now why this mutation is coming, to know that we need to know what is the actual situation of these snakes. You will see the actual situation of this snake in a few minutes. These snakes live on just wait a little bit. These snakes live on catching dragonfly, which are very much poisonous. So for the survival of this snake, possible mutations can be done in several ways. Within the next few minutes you will see how this mutation can be done. This mutation can be done by changing the snake with poison, beak, wings, or feather. Now by successive crossover of mutated snake with 4 criteria I have mentioned earlier, a perfect snake can be found. by running some of the iteration. In this slide we are seeing that further crossover is occurring to the mutated snake, mutation is occurring, and then finally we got a snake with 100% with 100% fitness value, which fulfill all the criteria and which can live by catching dragonfly and can withstand with its poison. Now let's come to the conclusion of genetic algorithm. Genetic algorithm is actually a class of adaptive stochastic optimization algorithm involving search and optimization. The basic idea is creating new individual by doing crossover or mutation of selected individual. And finally, I would like to say that it is an algorithm whose main theme is survival of the fittest.